moves left to change the angle on the double 16. If that's something he's working on, that might just be the extra percentage point that he needs to cross the line in a European Tour event. You just never know. But he's obviously found something out in practice that if he steps left
65
on a double that is low and left, he's got a better chance of hitting it. That's fascinating to me.
Yeah, Josh Rock has come close to a Euro Tour title. He fell at the final hurdle in Austria. It was this weekend last year where he was beaten by Johnny Clayton. And next week, when we head to Graz, he'll be looking to go one better. For now, he's dishing out something of a tonking to Michael Smith.
140.
Well, if he hits double 10 here,
20.
or double 5, which he does. Not to steal your thunder a bit, Dan, but last 3 legs. Distinct improvement, which is why his average is creeping towards the mid-90s now. He's probably thinking to himself there, I wanted just a little bit more than that. Now I might have to hit this 110 if I want to get level.
Likely require 110.
Chooses 10 for tops. Michael Smith misses a chance to level the game after being 4-0 down.
Biggest shot of the match. It's a double 16 and he creeps left.
46.
He's had chances in the last couple of legs as Rocky.
20.
He could be in the wind, but now he might be in a battle.
Michael Smith.
A battle it is. Josh Rock.
Hang on.
100.
Can I talk about it now?
Yes. Reveal all.
We've had 2 9 darters in this building. They all came in the very first visit. Ian White and Mark Webster are the only people that get a 9 in this building. And that will remain the case. There's another point about those 9 darters. I'll save that for later. But Webby and Whitey are the only people to have ever hit a 9 darter in this building. And that was 12 years ago.
Double 8. Michael Smith with a superb comeback.
That Michael has shown in this game is inspiring. 5 years ago, if he's 4-0 down in that situation, he loses. He is a very different person now.
140.
Look what Josh Rock wants. For a hat-trick of big fishes. For a hat-trick. Josh Rock, unbelievable! He has made it 5-0. Yes, bully boy, it is 3. This weekend continues to deliver the goods.
That happened at some point. It might just be in this leg.
We go back down.
98.
Well, Josh Rock needs to do everything in his power to leave the big fish.
Ooh. What does he do here, Bull?
130.
Oh, of course. Well, you got a baby fish to set up 95. What does he do on 95, I wonder?
87.
It won Michael Smith, 95. Leg 7. Does it win Josh the match?
Double 19. Josh Rock holds off the Michael Smith comeback. Another show-stopping performance.
That would have been tremendous wading by the Filipino player.
100.
Oh my word. Look at those. We're all having a little party in the bottom left corner of the 60 bed. Join the club.
140.
Denied at the door.
21.
Treble 17 and Bull for 4-0. For 4-0.
76.
Misses the bullseye, and Gerwen Price, another one of these shots that will decide the outcome of this game. And he has missed it again. 89 missed, 94 missed, 81 missed for Gerwen Price. It's 3 separate legs. He could have won them all. He's not won any of them. This for 4-0. Gary Anderson is dominating this one. And his perfect run in Euro Tour finals was brought to an end by Martin Shindler. He's only lost 2 finals, Gezi Price, on the Euro Tour. His very first one to Johnny Clayton, his most recent one. Won 8 in between.
2 guys here who would love to have a green jacket next week.
140.
But what's even better than that is winning back-to-back weeks. And Price knows a thing or two about that, doesn't he, on the European Tour?
85. Going to go 124.
As he quickens up, Gary's just slowing down a little bit here. Hang on a minute.
It's on the 7th there, going from. Same thing as Gary to throw first. Damon.
Things are getting... I don't think Gary's one of those players. Michael van Gerwen has said it in the past.
140.
But this is a really good upturn in leg number 8. 125 away from being just 1 away
140.
from the quarterfinals.
125.
60 for tops. Double top for a 12-darter of his own.
Good.
There it is, Gary Anderson right back in charge of this now. He's certainly in the discussion.
I've done my list at their very peak of their powers. I've got Gary at 3.
I mean,
134.
just to be in the discussion is a reflection of his incredible ability.
I've got Price in the top 10.
Look, there's plenty of darts players here, some of the best players in the world, inspired to play the game because of this man, and he is still doing it. He is still one of the best players in the world right now.
You've never been to Scotland when he's done a big exhibition, have you? It's a thing to behold. I was in Scotland playing against Gary when he first won a world title. It was his homecoming at Inverurie in Scotland. And just thinking about it gives me chills. Just like 132 checkouts to win matches.
Going for it? Is he going for it? No, he's not. No, he's not. Leaves himself
96.
tops. Gary Anderson, match darts incoming. He has been excellent on the doubles all weekend. More than 60% over his couple of games. This should be the end of it. And it is the end of Gerwen Price at the European Darts Grand Prix this year. Gary Anderson, some revenge for losing to the Iceman in Belgium.
97. '93. Danny will require 164.
He's trying to leave himself the big fish. Taking a bit of inspiration from his good mate Josh Rock, who's hit 3 of them already this weekend.
60.
Yes.
100.
Gives him a chance. Danny
Danny
Noppert.
require 104.
This might need to go. Double top.
84.
It's not gone. And Rob Cross, 70 points away from a 4-1 lead. In a game where, to be honest, he's got worse and worse as it's gone on. But his lead might continue to increase. I think it's exactly what's happening.
Rob Cross.
Strange old leg, strange game to the board here, Danny Noppert. He may not be allowed back. He will. It needed to be perfect from Cross. He's going to leave himself handily placed.
96.
Interesting
Danny
decision.
requires 62.
Yeah, it means he might only get 1 dart at double if he comes back. Noppert tends to do a lot of his finishing on tops.
42.
And even tops is deserting the Dutchman.
Robbie requires 64.
Martin Shindler and Darrell Gurney, the 2 players beaten by these 2 yesterday, will be looking at this game and wishing they were still in the tournament. Because their performances last night are better than either of these, better than Rob Cross's even, but he is hitting the doubles.
Winner of this, as mentioned at the start, will face either Luke Humphries or Stephen Bunting. And if either player's watching this, I don't think they'll be quaking in their boots.
There's something to be said for winning when you're not at your best. Winning comfortably against a player of Danny Noppert's calibre. when you're not at your best is an extraordinary bit of work. But that may be what's happening.
65.
Once again, Danny Noppert hasn't had an awful leg. It's just not been quite good enough. Oh, it's on. 107 left, treble 19 and bull. Not going to seal it with a 161, but he is going to pile the pressure on Danny Noppert. This to stay in it. And it's not going to go. Rob Cross, match darts for a 6-1 win, a second 6-1 victory over Danny Noppert on the Euro Tour this year.
Robbie required 28.
Eyeing up double 14. Rob Cross might not have done it the pretty or the flashy way, but he has comfortably beaten Danny Noppert.
How good was the last start of the match? He did something that I believe only he can do. When he hit tops twice, it was the second one. The way it behaved when it hit the previous one, I think he's the only person in World Darts who can do that. It was a very Stephen Bunting dart. It was miraculous.
130.
Sensational artwork in the crowd this afternoon.
All weekend. Great hats. Great artwork. Great darts.
132.
Great entertainment.
Luke, you require 91.
That leaves double 16.
Game
Luke Humphries
from the third
isn't
leg.
missing much right
Luke
now.
Humphries. Fourth leg, Stephen Afofa.
Because he's constantly got players like Searle, Humphries and others saying, oh, for heaven's sake, how do I get rid of you? He's been in 2 finals on the European Tour. We've only had 1 dart missed at a double in this match.
97.
And we've got those kind of numbers. Now, you tell me that this is not the best tour in professional sport. It's taken me a few years to take Dan Dawson seriously on that comment, but he's right.
57.
Can't disagree. We're not going to the recent pattern of the head-to-head meetings because in the last 7,
97.
they've traded victories. So Luke Humphries should be winning this. If we do go to the form book.
100.
You know what Stephen Bunting does with the phone book?
Rips it up.
Tends to put it in the shredder and just plays darts.
140.
You can see what kind of mood Humphries is in with his game at the minute. He walks away with a 140 to leave 72 and he's disappointed.
100.
And look, he will be
Luke requires 72.
desperate to get a win here in Sindelfingen because he's already outlined his intentions for the next couple of weeks.
Game
Double 3
from
is
the
found and
third
Luke Humphries back
Luke
in this game.
Humphries. 8th leg, Stephen Afofa.
1 is the magic number here, and that is equating to a lot of 19s.
136.
That's still brilliant.
Luke, you require 123.
1, 2, 3. Is it as easy as ABC? Apparently not.
91.
But he somehow squeezes it through.
Stephen, you require 71.
More magic from Humphries, but it might all be in vain. This would be a huge leg to win for Stephen Bunting, and he's only going to get 1 go at tops.
51.
And he drags it low.
Luke, you require 32.
Good chance.
Game
Taken.
from the 9th leg.
Great spirit from Kula and Luke here.
10th leg,
Averaging
Stephen
100.2 for the last 3 legs.
Game on.
We've seen bursts like this already today with Bunting because that's where that mental strength that he has comes to the fore.
140.
Oh, how about a 6-4 win with a 9-darter?
140.
You may want to return that crystal ball, Dan. It's faulty. I think Humphries is seeing the lighter side of it. However, if I may, I think he needed a maximum to have a shot.
140.
Because Bunting's on 81 after 9. So was Michael Smith to win the match against Josh Rock 6-4. But it was at that point
81.
Josh hit a 170 finish. This 81 must be found. Double 13.
Game from the 10th.
Here we go.
Stephen Bunting.
You have examples in 2024. I think it's around about 90% of the last leg deciders he's lost this year. He didn't have the darts.
43.
Yeah, it's quite curious, really, that the world's best player right now, the world #1, won so few bullseyes in the back room. But he did win this bullseye, and that's given him such an advantage here.
And he didn't give it away, because you never give it away in best of 11. He might just have enough in the tank for the last 16 again here at the Glass Palast. There it is.
100.
How does he do that? Someone please tell me how he does that. It's like that blocker dart is hollow. Outrageous.
Especially when his darts are like javelins as well. Massive.
90. Luke, you require 36.
For a 13-dart leg to win the match. Oh, wow. Double 9. That is a proper adjustment. And Luke Humphries has displayed his battling qualities once again.
He has got better as the game's gone on. He steadfastly just stayed at the same level in this game. It's Ross Smith, who has only improved marginally, but it has been enough to get himself to this position.
100.
Those visits of a ton, he's drip feeding those through a little bit more regularly than Richie is at the moment.
This is better.
100.
Much better. Second 180 of the match. And both of them have gone to Edhouse.
He won't want a 180 here, Ross Smith. But that is better. 171 to leave himself on double 8. Big moment this. Edhouse needs the treble. Does not get it. Ross Smith.
56.
Things are starting to happen for a third
16.
consecutive leg.
Not going to be 3 consecutive 15 darters, but he'll take a 16. Good spell here.
Yes, he's down to a finish, but an extra 40 points makes a massive difference.
51 for the bull. There'll be a reaction here,
90.
but only had he hit it.
140.
Turns out it was too big an ask for Richie Edhouse. Can he find another one of those darts just floated in?
60.
Not quite. Gave it a chance.
Ross require 25.
Ross Smith to make it 4 legs on the spin. He's dragged his average into the 90s. Dragging himself into the quarterfinals.
17.
Well, it's in doubt at the minute.
Richie require 80.
Keep them straight. Straight here. Could be 4-4.
Yes, on the
Very, very
Richie.
resolute. Can he get a ton to leave a finish for the win?
100.
I hate to go all Friends and David Schwimmer here, but Ross can. But can he win the match now?
136.
60-60 double A. Double 8. Match start miss for Ross Smith, but Richie Edhouse has a tricky ton plus finish to negotiate himself. It may only be one at the bull. The 12s. Stay in it. Oh, Richie Edhouse. He may not have been at his amazing level of the last couple of weeks.
And he's going to get to the finish first, and it's going to be little.
97.
Well, Edhouse all of a sudden is playing the darts we've seen from him in the last fortnight. It's only for the last leg and a half of this game, but that might be all he needs. Ross Smith has gone from hitting a 180 to nothing in the next 2 visits, and Richie Edhouse to win it. He survived a match dart. He gets one himself. And he's so close to taking it.
But why has Ross Smith not hit anything since the 180? It's because Edhouse backed his up and backed Ross up into this corner where he can't find the big out to win the match. But can Richie finish the job after missing the bull for this game? Over to him now to make the last 8. In Sindelfingen, it will be double 8.
Double 4. Nearly drops the dart. Recomposes. And misses. Head in hands for Richie Edhouse. He survived the match dart. He's missed 3 of his own. Ross Smith to steal this one away. And reach the quarters in Sindelfingen once again. It will be 1 dart. No, it won't. He's missed the big number. He has missed the big number. He's had his fortune, he's been given a chance, and he has thrown it away. He will be raging.
Give Ross Smith some space. Double 2. He gets a chance to fix the situation. Richie Edhouse is in the madhouse.
32.
And he might be locked out.
He's shaking his head. He thinks it's gone. It is gone. Ross Smith somehow survives. A big embrace between the pair of them. He'd never beaten Richie Edhouse before. And with that throw as well, once he starts clicking into gear, you think Scott Williams could do anything. This guy could do anything.
Well, that's 2 legs out of 4 where both players have hit a max.
94. Damon, you require 167.
Scott Williams' good mate Josh Rock has taken 3 of these this weekend. Just one would be nice, but that's not the way to do it.
49. Damon, you require 36.
I'm not really sure what the benefit of going for the bullseye there is for Scott Williams, but it matters little because that is a 13 darter. But Scott Williams just hasn't put up as much resistance as we would have expected. And Shaggy.
Good from Heta.
Well. Yeah, he's done that very well, hasn't he? Second time he's set up brilliantly from 167. Set up nicely from 164 in the previous leg. He hasn't been taking out these big finishes, and he does have that 143 to his name. He's been leaving himself very well placed. That's the first time this weekend that Damon Heta has missed 3 clear darts at double. But because he had outscored Scott Williams, he's going to get 3 more.
And there's an all at 180.
36.
You can tick that off the Scott Williams bingo card. But Scott Williams will be feeling ticked off because Heta has won a 5th leg.
$127 for the match when he returned.
$93. Damon, you require 127.
Not guaranteed to get 2 goals at this with Williams on 153. Might not need 2 goals. Treble 19.
87.
And nothing really suggests that Williams is going to take this out.
$97.
And he hasn't. So, Damon Heta for a much more routine victory. He dispatches Scott Williams by 6 legs to 2. A big drop.
But that doesn't even make the top 10 of crazy Johnny Clayton deflections. We will never forget, Johnny, that beautiful treble 18 that you hit once when the dart went in sideways.
Yeah, I think he was playing Martin Lukeman, who could only laugh. I think anyone would laugh.
Even Johnny would.
100.
Michael's not going to be laughing if he's 4-2 down, I assure you of that. 60.
105.
Would have left tops.
Johnny require 124.
Johnny wants a shot at the ball. Gets it. But doesn't get that.
Michael, you require 80.
Michael's got to claw his way into a tied game here. He's running the risk of being 2 behind, but he's not.
From the sixth leg, Michael van Gerwen.
Well, this has been an amazing game so far. It could be 6-0 either way.
That right. She didn't lose a leg in today's Women's Series event. The first one, at least. That is a crazy achievement. Well done, Bo.
$140.
Got to start in the 19s here, especially when your opponent is well ahead. Very well done.
39. Johnny require 81.
Clayton can't afford to relax here. Ooh.
49. Michael, you require
Barrett, that's
170.
cheeky.
Uh-oh. Oh, Michael wanted that, didn't he? He wanted to show Johnny that he made an error. However, does Johnny get away with it? He does. One hold. I will continually ask that question until one of the players addresses it. I'm just curious as to why these players don't really do that.
140.
If Van Gerwen wins this leg, he will play either Dave Chisnall
99.
or Gabe Clemens in the 4th quarter-final tonight, which I firmly believe is the best draw.
135.
You get a decent-sized break between Game 7 in the afternoon and Game 4 of the night.
95.
And hopefully you can play 3 games and walk away with something glistening, which he might be. However,
93.
Johnny is still in his way.
Johnny requires 78.
We went all the way in Budapest the last time these two played on the Euro Tour. Johnny Clayton wants double 12, now double 6. And he can't get it. He's not far away at all from both of them.
16.
Johnny Clayton faltering at the wrong time. And Michael van Gerwen defeats him once again.
The European Tour has only lost 3 legs. He has won 16. It has been dominance from the man from Saarland, and he's up against the top seed in the tournament right here. A man who has won a title this year already on the floor event.
$97.
Shades of Game 1, Game 2. Anything can happen from 4-0 down. However, it doesn't look like Gabe Clemens is in any way, shape or form going to give charity to Chisnall. This may just be the performance of Gabe Clemens' European Tour career. It might be fast approaching his best ever.
His best ever is just over 114 average. He's been over that 110 mark a whole load of times. Another big finish. Another one, Gabriel Clemens. Gobbling up chances, left, right, and get back into the game before Gabriel closed it out and won 6-2. Dave Chisnall. He's going to get a chance to break Gabriel Clemens here, and a pretty good chance at that. Then he'd be throwing for 5-3, and he can only take it step by step, but maybe the third time of asking, Gabriel Clemens is going to end up with a bit of
58.
chaos in one of his games.
Dave require 54.
Double top for the number 1 seed.
44.
Fair play to the crowd. Silence as he was going for those doubles. Maybe they're saving their voice for the crescendo that may or may not come.
60.
There are no guarantees that
Dave
Clemens gets any more darts
10.
for the match. It's up to Dave to stop him repeatedly.
Well, And that stops him in this leg. Dave Chisnall makes it back to back.
Said working on something in his action, but imagine what it would do for his confidence if he can get out of this game with a 6-5 a la Mensah Suljovic against Jamie Hughes from 4 years ago when Mensah went from 5-0 down. But now it might be time for Clemens to re-find the accelerator.
Well, his finishing has been brilliant in this game.
84.
And managing to conjure up his first 180 since the 5th leg means he should get a chance to win the match here. And if he continues with that sort of stuff on the doubles, then Gabriel Clemens has got this sewn up.
I was saying yesterday that nobody lives a game for their partner more than Mrs. German Giant. She lives every single bead of sweat, every thought, every shot, every moment.
Can afford to set this up. Match starts incoming for Gabriel Clemens to beat Dave Chisnall for just the 2nd time in his career and book his place in the quarterfinals on the European Tour for just the 4th time in his career in what is his 44th Euro Tour. The record hasn't been good from Gabriel, but this has been great. He's been great this weekend. He's been dominant this weekend so far. But he's got to get over the line. He is over the line. Chizzy is beaten. A wink from Big Gabriel, who reaches the final session. We will have a German in